Tungsten MG is white sea strawberry. Every single style of car you want from.
Before I came here last night, I was just looking through the list of EVs that were going to attend this year's Goodwood Festival of Speed, and there's so many world exclusive debuts and UK debuts. The list was pretty long, to be fair. A few of the cars that were on the top of my list was the MG Cybersteer that we're promised we're going to get a ride up the hill later. I also fancy the look of the Renault 5. Other cars that I'm quite excited to see is the all-electric Porsche Macan, built from the ground up. That's quite cool. And we're also getting a first look at the Alfa Romeo Stradale 33, among other cars. The thing is, with events like this, you really need to see these cars in the flesh, because things can really change. We are going to Alfa Romeo to check out their Stradale 33, which the name is based on the 1967 vintage car, and only 33 examples will be made. It's available in a V6 and electric powertrain. Unfortunately, this car is a static display only, so they're just going to give us a walk around of the car. So this is, am I right in thinking this is available in a V6 and an electric powertrain?
Exactly, two different motors, engines. So one is coming from the Giulia V6 with 620 horsepower, and the other one is a full electric engine with 750 horsepower.
So it might not have called that, huh? 750
750.
Okay.
Yeah.
And only 33 were made, and they've all been sold.
So, for example, you know that this is a full customizable car. So every car will be that is already sold is fully customizable. So the interior, the exterior, the paint, the details into the interior, everyone will be tailored on the request of the client.
Okay.
Then other things, we say that this is highly inspired by the original 33 Stradale, but as you see, there are some details that comes from the new Alfa Romeo DNA. They're trying to, let me say, introduce in the new cars also the new that have come, so like the new Giulia or Stelvio. So
yeah, we're looking forward to seeing that actually at Electric Avenue. So we were saying at the front it's designed to be beautiful, and at the back it's a bit more angrier.
Yeah.
So together with the Junior, which is Alfa Romeo's new electric city car, would you call it? I guess?
Crossover.
Yeah. Would you say they're really pushing now in the direction of towards electric powertrains?
Yeah, as all the OEMs, I think so. That's the direction that all the producers are taking. So also Alfa is trying to, go in that direction.
Yeah.
Even if, most of the people needs to have time on these topics. So not all the clients are really focused on electric cars. They want to still have combustion engines.
Would you say that's why Alfa's been perhaps behind some of the other bigger brands?
No, I don't think so. So
you're just taking time perfecting it.
Yeah.
Getting the true Alfa front. Let's go back towards the Electric Avenue. So what is it that attracts people to this event? Well, it's the traditional garden party atmosphere, the ability to literally roam almost anywhere, rub shoulders with racing drivers of yesteryear and today, the vast array of machines, two-wheeled and four-wheeled, the infamous hill climb, which we'll show you a video of later, and the most incredible air displays.
Goodwood, put your hands together for the Red Arrows!
What has changed though is this, Electric Avenue. It first arrived in 2021 to mark the shift or the recognition that people needed to switch to EVs. And back then, 27 car manufacturers brought their new models. Today, its footprint is actually slightly smaller and only 20 major car brands are here. But there is a reason for that, and that's because most of the car manufacturers here have their own stands. We have MG here, we've got BYD here, every car manufacturer. When I first came, they had these pulsing blue lights and this really loud like house music to, I guess, entice people in. It's a bit tamer now, although there is a EV powered DJ, which I'm sure will pump out tunes in a minute so that you can't hear me. 4 distinct zones this year. So we've got city cars, SUVs, performance cars and alternative fuels. There is hydrogen here. Let's see what else there is. New BMW i5 Touring, which I drove around Millbrook a few weeks ago and is a pretty special bit of kit actually.
Welcome along, this is Electric Avenue. We are here with...
This is the new Renault 5. This is really nostalgic for us. I mean, such a cool car in its day. Will the modern version live up to it? Actually, what do you think of the this kind of wrap-around dash? It looks quite futuristic. It's reverse and neutral and drives up here. And this, I love this leather fabric. Do you like the yellow fabric? I quite like it. It's very nice. Actually, room for probably 2 adults in the back, or your kids. It's got fabric, roof lining as well. As long as it's good to drive as, say, the Mini and the Fiat 500R Bath, then they could have quite a fight on their hands. The only thing I really hate about this is the British flag on the roof. I mean, it's not even a British car, is it? Apart from that, I'll have it. This is the first luxury electric convertible in the market. It's from Maserati. It's got 1,200 brake horsepower. And there's very few rivals that spring to mind here. Obviously you've got the Porsche Taycan, the Tesla Model S, and the Audi e-tron. But that's not what they're setting their sights on, because this car is going to be around about 200,000. So they got their sights firmly set on Ferrari and Bentley and the likes of those. I don't know. I'm not that keen on it. I don't think their styling's moved on enough. It doesn't help that it's in the most disgusting paint colour I've ever seen, and the blue leather. Don't even be started on blue leather. But it seems to be getting a lot of attention. This is the Callum Design Skye. It's actually a UK-based car manufacturer. It's a beach buggy of sorts. It's quite a strange-looking thing. I think someone likened it to the Vauxhall Mocha meets the ProDrive Hunter. So it's supposed to feature a 42 kilowatt-hour battery, but the most impressive thing is it will charge in 10 minutes to full. That's an optional extra that you have to spec. Although, to be fair, I don't even know if it's heading into production or not. It could just all be concept lies. This is one car I really want to get behind the wheel of, the Ioniq 5N. I've heard it's a really great car. Of course, here we got the Mini Cooper Electric, which we drove a couple of weeks ago. I reckon this car will sell really well. This is the first time that I've seen the Ford Capri Electric. Looks nothing like the old Capri. I mean, it's just really super smooth. This is the Omoda E5. It's owned by Chery, and it's coming to market quite soon. Take a look inside. So the entry level is actually going to be priced at around £32,000, and I drove this around Millbrook, and the chassis for that price and the interior, it's a bit Mercedes actually, with all its kind of bling materials, but it's quite, you know, high end for that price point. And then the top level versions will be around 34, I think it said 35, 34. And I think for that money, I mean, you can't go wrong. It'd be interesting to see how it fares with the competition, with the more established brands like Hyundai and Kia. Are people going to trust a brand new name, even though it's owned by Chery? Time will tell. But they've got to make EVs more affordable, and this is probably the answer. So earlier on, we got a glimpse of the Alfa Romeo Stradale 33 in its glass box. And the guy there, the PR guy, told us to check out the Alfa Romeo Junior. Let's go and have a look. So this is the first mainstream EV from Alfa Romeo, and it's available in 3 trim versions. Let me check my notes. So the entry level Electrica and Special models put out 154 brake horsepower and a 250-mile range. And then there's the top spec one, which is the Veloce, and that's got 278 horsepower and slightly more range, 280 miles. Let's have a look. Not quite sure which one this is, but they're part of Alfa Romeo's rebranding is the black and white badge on the front, and they've just got the scripting at the back, so that might tell us which model it is. So this is the entry-level one, because the Veloce, the top spectrum, has got bigger brakes and tuned suspension, Torsen differential, front and rear anti-roll bars, and that's probably the one that you want to drive. Alfa Romeo tell us that this is the lowest weight in segment and optimal mass distribution. So basically they're saying, we promise this is a true Alfa, even though it's electric. Be interesting to see when we get behind the wheel in September time. I love the little Alfa logo on the vents. It's quite plain. I mean, you can tell this is the entry-level model, can't you? I know someone's going to have a fit on my YouTube channel, but there are loads of scratchy plastics. Their customer base is quite reluctant to move away from combustion. I did ask if that was the reason why they were somewhat delayed, which he didn't agree with. Hopefully they were perfecting the formula. We'll see. What the f*** is this? YANGWANG? Ben, that's disgusting, and it's petrol. This is what we're here to look at. It's still a YANGWANG, but it's a U9 and it's an electric supercar. 1,300 brake horsepower. 0 to 62 in 3.6 seconds. So the only thing I know about YANGWANG is it's the luxury sub-brand of BYD. Carbon roof, carbon side seals. Wow, is that big enough?
About to continue this manufacturer batch, and an MG4 sitting on the line. A number of new models coming out of Chinese MG is white seat strawberry.
Yeah, it's not slow, is it?
No, it's not slow at all. It's a little bit squeaky underfoot, but not that bad.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit of rotation on the back.
Yeah, feel that.
So this is
This is, okay, right. This being put in place for the solar car.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to make life a bit more difficult. Wow, when you're on track, that's quite a bit.
That VJ's quite heavy.
Yeah, that brick wall's just there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is where MG have their stand base. There's a whole range of MG.
If I had to choose two of my favourite cars from this year's Goodwood Festival of Speed, this would be one. There's another one, which I'll show you later. We are crying out for an electric convertible. It's got the perfect powertrain for it, silent, serene motoring. People that generally buy a convertible, it's their Sunday car. You don't need an enormous range. I'm really excited about this car. Wow, this must be BYD's premium 7-seater, the D9. It's actually China's best-selling SUV. What do you think? That front end is god awful, isn't it? Jesus. I mean, yeah, it's pretty disgusting, but it's big. We need more 7-seaters. And actually, inside it looks very nice. It's a bit beige. Very beige. I know big grills are fashionable, on trend, but this is just another level. And what is this? What is it? Where does it start? Where does it end? Priced at around 50 grand. The only other options available at the moment is the Kia EV9, which is what, 70? and the Tesla Model X, which is only left-hand drive now, and that's 90, 100 grand. So perhaps this could be what the market needs.
You could argue ID Buzz.
Oh, ID Buzz, yeah. Apart from it doesn't have 7 seats.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But that's coming.
yeah, a similar space. This is the first glance paddock where you can often expect to see a lot of world exclusives from pretty much nearly every car manufacturer is represented here. At the moment, we're trying to look for the new Mini Cooper Works concept car. Hopefully we'll find it. And we found it. Here it is, the John Cooper Works E prototype. No idea when it's going to come out, but it looks pretty cool. And the S version that we drove last week was really bang on, so high expectations for this one. One of the other things they also have every year is this huge sculpture in front of Goodwood House, and this year MG have taken the spot with the cyber steer and this year MG had taken the spot with the cyber steer. No, you're going to keep this in. And this year MG have taken the spot with the cyber steer on one side and its MGB Roadster on the other side. And I hope they're not customer cars. More Asian big grille action. The Lotus Eviya S, which we were on the launch on a few weeks ago, and is an amazing car. We'll be going up in the Eviya on Sunday, and I can't wait. This is the second generation Porsche Macan. It's built completely from the ground up, so it doesn't share any of the powertrain with the Taycan. The guy said it's got about 600 PS, which is around about 620 brake horsepower, 833 pound-per-foot of torque, which basically means it will smash that 0 to 60 sprint in 3.3 seconds. It's quite brave, Porsche making their best-selling car electric, but I heard today actually that the Taycan is their best-selling model in their range, so it's no surprise really that they've turned their hand to building a completely new powertrain for this car. Inside, it's quite similar to the Taycan in that it's got this one screen, which presumably you can expect to have your passenger infotainment screen. It's not as curved as the Taycan, and then these buttons here which don't do anything, but perhaps that's because it's a show car. This is the turbo version. It has slightly less range than the new Taycan because at the moment it is two-wheel drive, so it's got 300 miles, whereas I think the guy said the all-wheel drive Taycan has 400. Might want to check on that later. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the sales of this. Stable yard is traditionally where you'll find BMW. This is the Neue class. It's BMW's vision of electric cars from 2028. I recall seeing this in a glass box a few years ago. They're gradually rolling it out and getting people used to it because look at it, it's pretty futuristic. I like it. What do you think? Comment below. So traditionally, Thursday was always a press day at Goodwood, but I guess as the event got more popular, they opened it up to the public, and as you can see, it's very busy. This is the Renault 5-based Alpine A290, which actually borrows its power plant from its biggest sibling, the Renault Macan. It's got 215 brake horsepower, and it's also tweaked the chassis, so that it should be a lot more fun than the standard version. I love Alpine cars, and I can't wait to try this one out. They've actually managed to get the rear three-quarter quite similar to the original, haven't they?
They have, yeah.
When I was looking at the EV lineup for the Goodwood Festival of Speed this weekend, my two favourite cars was going to be the MG Cybersteer and the Renault 5. Of course, I hadn't seen them in the flesh yet, so I had to see them for myself. And actually, what's happened now is I've just swung by the Alpine stand and seen this. And I mean, look at it. That is really cool, isn't it? It's just a more beefed up version, and coming from Alpine with the suspension tweaks and the extra power, it should also be really good to drive on the road. So I think, having re-evaluated, this is my car of choice.